Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is the chart for the new year and the new decade, 2020, just around the corner. It's set for London in the UK, where I live, and always it will have 7 degrees of Libra over here. This is the ascendant or the rising sign. So always, every year, we're looking at Venus, because Venus is the planet connected to Libra. And here is Venus, down here, in this sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is very much to do with being a humanitarian. It's a fixed sign, and it's not a water sign, many people might think. It's the water bearer, but it's very much about mental attitudes. We have a huge stellium, a group of planets, all in Capricorn. We have Mercury, Jupiter, the South Node, the Sun, Saturn, and Pluto. And a lot of astrologers are talking about Saturn joining Pluto in January. Now, this is a big event, but it's not to be thought of in a negative way. That can be ground zero, but also restructuring. Saturn is about buildings, and it's in its own sign. So with all the planets here, we are basically looking at Saturn. But we're also looking at Mars over here. Mars is also in its own sign of Scorpio. So the two, how are they getting along? Well, they're getting along okay. There's a little, that's called a sextile. So water signs get on very well with earth signs. Fire signs get on very well with air signs. And it's interesting to look at your own chart in that regard and your relationships. So we have the moon right next to Neptune. Now, we can't see Neptune, it's far, far away, but it's in its own sign of Pisces. It's a planet with the moon there very much about compassion, about healing, about forgiveness. Very beautiful, mystical energy is there. What is very striking, though, about this new moon, this new year, is there's nothing in a fire sign apart from Chiron, the wounded healer archetype. We have a very strong, as you can see from that graph, very strong earth, practical, realistic, grounded. The UK is a Capricorn country because it is actually the 1st of January was when it was set up, so to speak. Countries all have birth charts, by the way. Anything has a birth chart. It's just a moment in time. Very strong element of water, but also air. Communication is good. Now, cardinal are the 4 seasons of the year. So they are Capricorn, Cancer, Libra. Missed one out, Cancer. If I got them all right there, all the 4 seasons. Aries, of course, Aries, springtime. But notice the lack of fire, because Mercury was in Sagittarius, but it's now moved into Capricorn. However, let me take you forward. Here on the 4th of January, Saturday, again set for London, Mars is now in Sagittarius. So we now have a much more balanced picture. And Mars likes that sign of Sagittarius. It's happy, very, very happy in Scorpio, but it's also very good in Sagittarius. That's a visionary position for Mars. It's a futuristic position. So we're looking ahead, vision. Every planet has been with this South Node recently, the personal planets I'm talking about. So the Sun and Mercury, and we'll have Jupiter also moving with that South Node. Now, notice that this is the North Node governed by the Moon. The South Node here is governed by Saturn. This is all about father energy, mother energy. So responsibility, responding, that's the energy of Capricorn, and the Moon, caring, the family, the mother, the nurturer. And they work very well together. if they are in a good connection with each other. Also on Saturday, we have the moon in Aries. So again, we can see why that fire element has suddenly been lit. That's what fire is after all, isn't it? It's lit. Now I'm moving forward again. Here you can see that Saturn and Pluto coming together along with the Sun. So 12th of January is a very, very important day. We have the Sun, Mercury, Saturn and Pluto extremely saying something very loud and government responsibility to the people is there, is signalled there. And also, we've got the sun there as well. So it's a very powerful day. So we look at the news, especially around the 12th and the 13th of January, because that's when the Sun and Pluto are side by side with Saturn. Now, we have still to look at Uranus. Uranus over here, 2 degrees Taurus, is in a good relationship to that south node and also the Jupiter energy. And therefore, something unexpected, and I can't predict that, might well occur around this date. Also, let's look at the day after. Wow, now this is getting closer. We've got Venus now in her own sign of Pisces, exalted as it happens in Pisces. So that's the 14th of January. I'm going to move forward again to that. I'm going to miss the lunar eclipse out, but I'm going to move forward again to the first new moon of the year. And that is happening 4th of January. 4th, 5th stroke, here it is. So it's the wee hours of Saturday the 25th. Now, you can see here a good balance of elements, good balance of modes, what they call modes. Fixed signs are, as you might think, fixed. They're stable. They stabilise things. And here, we've still got that lovely Mars in a fire sign. We have, of course, the Sun and Moon in Aquarius, along with Mercury. So you're getting a taste of that at the new moon with Venus. And now you can see you've got Venus in her own sign, joining Neptune in Pisces. So what was occurring at the beginning of the year, 1st of January, is now being re-emphasized. And making a wish list, creating your future, manifesting your vision. I believe this new moon, first new moon of the year, is far more significant than the eclipsed new moon. I can't hear my voice, on Boxing Day. Not a great day, full stop, to start manifesting. We're enjoying, it's holiday time. But here there's a different quality. And I'm giving a workshop on that particular day, the Saturday, for that very reason. And if you want to manifest, you need to set some goals. You need to focus on what you want. And also, the strong emphasis on Capricorn and Aquarius, traditionally Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, step by step. The mountain goat is the Capricorn energy, so it climbs to that top of that mountain, and it's very agile. If you've ever seen a mountain goat, you'll know what I mean. Very agile. So making plans for your year ahead is extremely good to time it around a new moon. Not before, and not exactly at the new moon, because the moon is invisible, but about 8 hours after, up to 48 hours after, is an optimum time. But also you can start to think about this now. The new moon, the new year resolutions of the 1st of January, how many of us keep them? How many of us are there very much about shoulds? Oh, I should lose weight. Oh, I should stop drinking. Oh, I should, whatever it is, if it's a should or a must, you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure. and that never works. So in my work, I'm looking very much about what lies hidden, what's in the unconscious that might be stopping you moving forward and reaching goals. I also work with Vedic astrology. Now that's a completely different look at the planets. It's the actual constellations they are in. So I'm just going to show you that a moment. Here's the chart, 1st of January 2020, and this is using the sidereal zodiac, where the actual constellations are. And here you can see there's Pluto, Saturn, Sun, South Node, Jupiter, and Mercury. Jupiter now in the sidereal system is in Sagittarius. So that is extremely good. It's a very different quality to what we've been going through over the last year. Mars is also strong. It's in its own sign of Scorpio. You can still see there's the moon, there's Neptune, side by side. So the planets in their relationship to each other are still the same. However, the signs change. And I know this could be like, woo, how can that be so? But it really is. It's just a different way of looking at the same thing. And notice we start the year with a Jupiter energy. This is called dashes and bookties. Jupiter and Saturn both. Now on the 25th of January, I'm going to swap that now. Okay, I'll show you the 26th of January. Here, Saturn has changed. Now this is a major event that's happening 26th, 25th of January. Saturn is now in its own sign of Capricorn for 2.5 years. Jupiter in its own sign for approximately a year. It will dip in and out of Capricorn, but mainly in its own sign. That makes it very powerful and strong. And the same with Saturn. And Saturn is no longer caught up in the eclipse energy. That's been going on during 2019 for about 5 months. Really tough. It encompasses the whole problem we've had in the UK with Brexit, with the resignation of Theresa May and the new election of the leader and then the election. So that's what has been happening. It's a clearer picture now, a much easier picture. And for you personally, if you have been going through Saturn, where your sun or moon are in your chart, and hopefully you do know that, this is really going to make a difference to you. So I want you to recognize there's positive light at the end of this particular event, this month ahead, and to perk up and see, things are going to get better, as the song once said. There's also going to be a very nice event early February. We have it. 3rd of February, Venus moves into Pisces, her own sign. So there'll be events in the course of this year which will be incredibly good, depending on your birth time, your rising sign. And I do offer consultation, and I do an intuitive method to ascertain your birth time if you don't know it. So there's a little glimpse of 2020 for you from 2 different points of view. I hope you enjoyed looking at this and hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye.